Hey everyone, Mr. Happy here, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the patch 6.4 preliminary patch notes. And oh boy, this one might take me a while to get through because I am tired. 15-hour stream yesterday, did a video last night, and this will be my first sip of coffee for the morning. It's hot. It's still hot. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. That's fine. That's a good start. That's a good wake up. Let's get right to it. There's not much to say. 6.4 preliminaries. I'm sure a lot of this is stuff we expect, but we're looking for those little details that we never expect, that we get in the patches, that we just randomly get to tweet about and be excited about. Our new main scenario quest is going to be images we've seen, question mark, 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 question mark. Good. Character portraits have been implemented for battle dialogue during... Oh, no. Okay, wait. Starting from 2.0 quest through the final quest 2.55. I'm assuming they're doing this in batches, like they're doing it with the... I guess the duty support. But now I'm going to feel bad. If I'm doing MSQ as a player and I get this, if I have the portrait face, imagine... Now the NPCs are going to be like, what is going on with the portrait here? I'm just going to be... Just staring right at them from the thing. Oh, that's going to make everyone feel bad if they don't have an actual portrait, because they're just going to be like, I don't want to look like this during all the different dialogues and stuff. If I'm understanding it correctly. Then we have the Pandemonium quest, Eater of Souls. That's a good name for our first quest. A new side story quest, A Fairy Tale Come True. Players must first complete the quest Forgotten But Not Gone. Oh, it's a scholar quest. I guess this is some... So if this is a side story quest and it's about the fairies, we know that they're changing. Oh, this is Fairy Glam. That's all it is. Okay. I was thinking maybe it had something to do like more lore wise with the fact that they were, I guess they were making just one summon fairy button with the glam, but this is probably just the Fairy Glam quest. Tataru's Grand Endeavor, Aggressive Expansion. Oh, I still need to actually do the Four Lords one. I'll do that sometime this weekend. Maybe like Monday or something before this comes out, because I actually really want to do this one. Island Sanctuary and Ideal Marriage. This is, I guess, the follow-up to Island Sanctuary, the next quest. Either that or it's the one that lets you do the housing, the outdoor housing items, but it's probably just the next quest. New chapters added to New Game Plus, Pandemonium. Yeah, buddy, because we're finishing it this patch. Graphics for the quest icon display above escort NPCs has been changed for certain quests. Oh, so now they're at... You know what? It's weird. I never thought about alerting you to the type of quest you were about to have to do. But I do appreciate it, because that's it. It's only been applied to quests after 5.0. Older quests will be updated in a future patch. Yeah, a lot of Endwalker has been making the game more approachable for new people, or at least giving long-time things that were... I guess kind of requested but never prioritized, and we've had a lot of that. I mean, even with the character portraits being added into the old quests. New items for gemstone traders, probably I'd imagine nothing important, but it's probably like cards or music sheets or something. I doubt it's like crafting materials or anything. The loot for maps being updated, that's completely normal. New charge symbols have been added, or new charge symbol options have been added to company crest. I feel like they've been doing this a little bit more as of late. I feel like this is like the second time we've seen this in a patch note in recent times. New charge symbol options been added to PvP team crests. Yeah, specifically to the PvP stuff. And then this is all the usual subaquatic voyages, max level, max number of items that... Oh, actually, max number of items that can be displayed is something that's brand new. New items, new areas, new nautical maps. And this is mostly the standard stuff. These two things, however, are brand new. The number of items that can be displayed in the window, and when non-stackable items have been acquired, the number of total items will now be displayed. Okay, cool. Housing, message displays when confirming the result of the housing lottery in which only one person has participated has been changed. Probably to be like, you were the only one who entered, congratulations, as opposed to, there was one entry and the winning number was 1. Hey, that's you. It's like, imagine making it a little more personal. Following additions and adjustments have been made to message books. The home world of players who leave a message will now be displayed. Nice. Unique mark will now display on messages written by players that belong to the same free company. Okay, some small. Just nice to be able to identify it. The furnishings that won from the contest in 2019. Goodness, so long ago. Just some more internal stuff. I really like this fixture on the wall with all the pipes. And then we got these little pillars here, some stuff that's very Crystarium, very classic kitchen. I do like the way that looks. Nice. The outdoor, the big swing, and then the patio over here. And then the little water well here. New furnishings in general have been added. A bunch of stuff here. God, they get to do so many. I always have to wonder, because I don't do housing, how much of everything on the screen is actually brand new, and I just assume it all is. And man, oh look, pool. Oh dude, I wanna. Oh man, imagine if they add a pool mini game to the houses. We have the actual thing. I wouldn't put it past them. I feel like pool is one of those games they would just randomly add into Final Fantasy XIV. New orchestrions have been added, new flower plant seeds. I always forget about those. New aquarium fish. Excuse me, that's not a fish. However, I do like the way the thing looks. Gold saucer, new cards, new NPCs, nothing major. Island Sanctuary, max Sanctuary rank is now 16. New visions have been added. New items are now offered by the Horrendous Hoarder NPC for calories. New gathering area has been added to the wild, but you need to unlock it via your progress. New gathering points, new materials, new construction plots in the highway, new facilities, new sanctuary crafting recipes, new produce has been added. New animals have been added. This is all stuff we already knew. Forging expeditions, new area and new materials, new ironwork handicrafts, and a warning that displays that a material deficit will be incurred. I cannot believe that was not already in there. I mean, I can, because I remember that wanting that and that not being a thing, but I'm glad that it's here at some point. The maximum number of minions that can be simultaneously released has been increased by 10. Okay, that's nice. I didn't expect that. Furnishing Glamours features has been implemented. Furnishing Glamours features can be unlocked by... Man, that's crazy. You can have 50 minions and 90 outdoor furnishings at the same time. I just realized that. You can make it look like there's a small village, literally small village, inside of your own islands. like your minions are living in their own paradise. If you have if you have no friends to bring over to your island, make the perfect paradise for your minions. You can literally make a mini, kind of like a mini Animal Crossing section if you just use the animal looking ones or stuff like that. That's actually pretty funny. I hadn't really thought about it like that until I just read that line. So, okay. Furnishing Glamours, and then this is Furnishing Glamours. This is all the outdoor furnishing stuff they explained in the live letter. We don't need to go over this again. The live letter went over this in excruciating detail, although well appreciated because it looked really good. New hairstyle options have been added for Viera. Okay, that's good. New hairstyle options have been added for Hrothgar. Oh, I like the Sephiroth. The Sephirothgar! Hey! That's... Alright, sorry, moving on. Anyway, his hair is not long enough anyway. Following additions and adjustments have been made to Wondrous Tales. They just updated the rewards, and then Aetherfont and Euphrosyne can both be on there. Fantastic. Following additions and adjustments have been made to the Fox Hollows. The bed! So the bed is the new... I think this might be the first time, at least one of very few times. I know we knew the very first Fox Hollow mount from the patch notes. I think they put the unicorn in there, the horse. I think this might be the first time since that we've known what the new item is actually going to be outright. Maybe outside of a mention in a live letter or something. Okay, I have 1,000 leaves saved up. I don't really care about a bed mount. I'm going to sell that. Okay, I'm going to sell that right away. And then Zervan's filtering in. We knew that. New emotes. Oh, wow. I just realized we didn't have this emote. This seems like this should have been a no-brainer ages ago. Let's see. Battle system. We're not going to have the job changes in here, so this will be a quick scroll. Summon Selene is gone, so it's probably just Summon Eos, and then it... or actually, they probably just changed the name of the skill. But it says that's been removed. I'd assume there's going to be a name change of the skill, maybe in the full notes, or maybe even down below. But yeah, with the Fairy Glams, it makes sense. Following actions will now use unique visuals and sound effects when applied to targets. Interesting. So I guess these are the same buffs that are getting the 30 Yalm treatment. Peloton, Troubadour, Tactician, Searing Light, Magic Barrier, Whispering Dawn, Fey, Illumination, Expedient, and Divination. Okay, that's fine. Man, so if those are all the things that are getting the 30 Yalm buff, the ones that are not getting it would be tragic. Because we were definitely banking on some more buffs getting 30 Yalms, so I hope those aren't the only ones. Limit breaks have been adjusted to reduce variance. Yo, we were just talking about this on stream 2 days ago. Yeah, so remember those top damage variants, LB damage variants memes? Oh my god. Well, there you go. There's your new Phase 6 top nerf right there. Oh man. Anyway, glamours can now be applied to the Scholar Fairy. Okay, here's this quest. That's the one that we saw from earlier. Let's see. After filling the requirements, the text command /Eggy Glamour or /Pet Glamour can be used to change the appearance. Pets that are moving will now stop immediately to execute actions. I appreciate that. Text-based filter has been added to the Blue Mage spellbook. The following additions and adjustments have been made to the Blue Mage log. The weekly category has been added, which only displays weekly targets. Yeah, it's probably for the better. It's very confusing. The daily versus the weekly challenge stuff that's in there. Okay. Not that I ever do the weekly challenge stuff anyway. Contents of the log can now be collapsed or displayed per expansion. Nice. I can't believe it wasn't like that before again, but still. Location of enemies in the following areas have been adjusted. Lower Lenosha, Amarang, Garlemald. I think there's a few quests where there's hunts that can sit on top of NPCs that are essential to doing the MSQ or even doing side quests. So I think that's what that is. It might be regular enemies too that crowd them too much, but I'm almost certain in Garlemald in particular, there's a hunt location that can be almost right on top of an NPC. So they might just, if it's hunt stuff, they might be moved over just slightly. Ether Font, new MSQ dungeon, average item level 605 or above. It's part of the MSQ. Item level sync has been added to the previous two dungeons, Lapis Manalis and the Fell Court of Troya. We have our Golbez trial, 615 minimum for normal and 630 for extreme. Makes sense because it's going to be dropping, 645 weapons? That makes sense, yeah. No, it's not 645. Is it 5 item levels higher? It's been a while. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm trying to remember. Dude, I feel like I haven't played this game in ages because it's just been so long since I've logged in for anything after top other than the usual weekly stuff. Doing Unreal is 98% of the content I've done since doing top. So that's all there is to that. Let's see. Then it says the totem received better be 2. Just saying. Just better be 2 totems again. I just want to do it 50 times. There you go. Should be fine. But yeah, it's probably 645 because they made them 5 item levels higher back in Byakuya or something. Then you have Zervin here, pretty much the same. It's Unreal, same fight, just lower item level. With the lower item level, don't expect to skip Soar in a lot of parties. So y'all better learn Soar. You have to do it at the end of the fight anyway, where you normally have tank LB3, but you know what? You better know Soar. You better learn Soar. And you better learn those damn seals. I'm worried about those seals in PF. I generally am. Drop rate for the Wind Flute. This is the Barbaricha one. And the exchange for it, of course, being added as well. Pandemonium Anabaseos. We have Magus Cocytus right here. And that's just going to be P9. We saw that during the live letter. And other than this is all normal stuff. You can get 1 item from each normal, and you can exchange them all in. And then you get the sword from the last fight. And you need X number of swords, 7 swords or whatever, in order to actually exchange for the weapon. And there it is, completion reward. The Unsung Blade of Anabaseos. Yeah, it's been there a million times. 1 week delay on Anabaseos Savage at 3 a.m. Pacific. The unlock quest item exchange and Stone Sky Seal will be unavailable until that time. We have our friend here, who's literally, as I finally paid a bit more attention, is Pandemonium, by the way. That is the castle of, or at least a chunk of the castle of Pandemonium, as we saw in the trailer when it was spurting out. So this is quite literally the castle in some capacity, just a little messed up. Just a little messed up. And, brought to one of my friends is calling it Hell House, and I'm like, well, it's Hell Castle, to be fair. So P10 is going to be a good time. 10th, 11th, and 12th circle, and then the time limit 90, 90, 90, 120. Door boss or long boss? I'm betting it's door boss, and not because of castle door, but I want just one full boss. I really do, but I doubt it. I just don't have any faith. Rewards, again, this is all the same. They did make one major change to the Savage rewards, however, and I'm sure that's going to be, I'd at least assume they would list it in here. Yeah, with the item exchange, they will. Yeah, the big thing is that the body now has a chance of dropping from the 3rd encounter. So I'd assume that its legs or body can drop in one slot, and then head, hands, or boots in the other slot. And then the body's still guaranteed in the last fight, and then the weapon, of course, in the last fight as well. But that's the big change. On top of the exchange itself being a little bit more generous, as you can see, the accessories are now 3. If you didn't catch this in the live letter, that's just what it is. Accessories are now only 3 instead of 4. And the body and legs are now 6 instead of 8. However, the weapon is still 8 itself. And you can also exchange Mythos 4 down to Mythos 1, 2, or 3. I think the next step is making 3 go down to 2 and 1 and 2 go down to 1. I think they should just all descend. And then maybe even do the other way where if like you have enough of the lower tier ones, you can eventually reach for the higher tier ones. But I think they don't want to do that because they want people to actually have to beat the fight in order to get something from that fight instead of just event. They can, you know what they could do? They can make it so that you can only do an upwards exchange if you've beaten the fight above it. And then they make it like, you know, 3 or 4 or 2 or 3 or whatever exchange rate up to the top. So if you wanted to do only 1, you'd have to exchange 2 1s for a 2, then 2 2s for a 3, and 2 3s for a 4. And if you try to do it from just the first fight, that's going to take forever. But I think that's an eventual thing they could or should consider doing. But if they have that reservation, they should make it so it's only available after you've beaten the fight above it for the exchange. So maybe that'll be a step they take one day. I just want them to make as much vertical movement between the loot if you've already cleared the tier as possible. And then maybe the concern is once it's unlocked, it's a little bit too chaotic and people aren't doing the fights. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'm a bit of an optimist, I believe. Maybe I'm a bit of an optimist. Players now receive the power of the Echo and Mount Ordeals and Mount Ordeals Extreme. All this stuff was moved to the Duty Finder as part of the Raid Finder. You know, they moved the old one into the Duty Finder. The new one goes into the Raid Finder, the usual stuff. Euphrosyne weekly stuff has all been removed. Omega Protocol weekly has been removed, and the item level sync has been added. Bear in mind that in patch 6.5, this should be the item level of the dungeon gear, which means that if you are someone who has not done the Omega Protocol by 6.5, you will now have the advantage of the limit break changes, any job buffs that occur after the fact, new pots and new food, which we're getting in this patch, and then an actual set of best in slot that matches the item level sync in 6.5. So there's a lot of relief coming to people working on the Omega Protocol or people getting into it a bit later, as to be expected, but I feel like mentioning those things in particular is worth it. We have the comedy tomes being the new weekly capped tome, and you know how weekly capped tomes work. It's the same. They moved the old weekly cap down. Now the new old weekly cap is uncapped. The one before it is now no longer available. See aphorism to be removed. Astronomy can be exchanged for causality, and causality is now the just uncapped one. And then poetics are always here. It's this the same kind of vertical movement between the tomes that we always get. Expert is now Lapis Manalis and the Ether font. Expert minimum is now 605. Duty Roulette level 90 now has Troya, and its max required average item level, or the required average item level to register has gone up. Voidcast Dias, normal mode and trial roulette. Euphrosyne and Alliance roulette. And Anabaseos normal in the normal raid roulette. Mentor Roulette has the new dungeon, the new normal mode trial, and the new normal mode raids, and now has the 615. Again, it's all usual stuff. This is them just moving the tomes over again. It's the same vertical movement. We don't need to take much time on this. It's the same literally every patch. The new weekly cap one is moved in, blah, blah, blah. They do it for the hunts. They do it for every expansion. They do it for the deep dungeons. They do it for the shifting gymnasium and the Excitatron. And anyway, Stone Sky Sea. These are all the new things, although these won't be available till 3 a.m. Pacific on May 30th. So bear that in mind. Adjustments have been made to the instance dungeons and trial. Siren Song C, the position of certain NPCs has been adjusted. So the NPCs kind of intercept mobs and they kind of keep them apart. I'm willing to bet they push them all to the center of the boat, so all the enemies group up immediately, which is going to be nice. Bardoms, and also keep in mind that these changes here are largely to make do for the duty support that these dungeons are getting. Bardoms, the Garula boss mechanics have been adjusted, probably to make it so the NPCs can do it easier, and the Yol boss very much the same. Doma Castle, all the bosses have been adjusted, I guess, again, to make sense for all the duty support trusts and NPCs. Castro Mabania, all the bosses have been adjusted. Alamigo, the positioning of certain NPCs has been adjusted, and all the bosses have been adjusted as well. Yeah, I was wondering about Aulus in particular, what they were going to do with the soul retrieval thing. Duty support has been added, for all those dungeons that we just mentioned above. When undertaking variant dungeons, currently equipped variant actions can now be confirmed via the status effects icon in the party list. Okay, which is, I guess, a nice little thing to add in there for clarity for the other people in the party if you're running with more than one person. Issue in the help text for the variant action. Variant ultimatum erroneously states that increased enmity effect has a duration of 30 seconds. However, it actually has 60. Okay, so it's been that way, but at the same time, they just didn't fix it till now. Variant Raise 2 in Criterion dungeons will also be restored when enemies other than boss monsters appear. Yeah, so in the previous Criterion, basically only when a boss monster appears do you get the raise back. So it's kind of strange just like when you get them back. It seems like they're just making it a bit more available for Criterion as a whole, but that's only for regular Criterion. Criterion Savage doesn't have raise at all, so this should just make it a little bit less of a headache to do Criterion itself, I suppose. When undertaking the Criterion dungeon, another Sildine Subterranean Savage, time remaining until the Sewer Dwell effect is active can now be confirmed. Ah, so they're displaying the Enrage timer now. Okay. I'd assume that'll also be the case when the new one comes out as well. So that's a nice little thing just to have an idea of what the total runtime looks like. Care more about you fixing the rewards than that, but you know, that's a thing. Eureka logos adjustments. Okay. I guess Protect and Shell are now 22%. I don't know how that actually compares to the value of 1,000 because I don't know the ins and outs of Eureka. Yeah, it looks like they're just changing some of the effects here. Effect has been changed from increases defense by 150% and maximum HP by 50%. Reduces damage taken by 80%. 80? Excuse me? That's a lot. I feel like that's more than what this was doing. Excuse me? Maybe it's the same and it's just they're changing the wording, but I don't think so. that seems excessive to me. And then Wisdom of the Guardian is 45% and 10%. Okay. And Elder was magic damage 35, magic defense, and decrease MP. This is magic damage by 35%, reducing magic damage by 20. I'm just going to assume this is equal to 22%, and that the wording of this was equal to about this. I'm just assuming it's a clarity thing and not an actual like buff or debuff or anything change. Because then this is 2,000. Oh, but actually though, this is defense by 2,000 and this is 64%. So I guess maybe the defense value is compounding or something. I don't know. These are what they say now. We'll see if they're any different when it comes out. Series 3 will before and oh, that's where the mount is, huh? Okay. All right. Well, we have the new duty roulette, or the new bonus to the PvP roulette. Once a day, your Frontline roulette gives bonus series EXP on top of the amount you would already get. So that should make it much more easy. And then Crystalline Conflict to improve the visibility in Clockwork Castletown. The height and size of certain objects in the field have been adjusted. Okay, I like that. Season 6 will end and Season 7 will begin. I actually need to see... they said we would get new rewards. And so I actually want to see first place... are they going to show it here, or are they going to make me wait until later? Because didn't they say we were getting new reward? Wait a minute. Maybe it's listed to the right because like the page is off. I don't know. Maybe I'm confused. maybe it says something else in one of the other sections. Can only be claimed upon using a rank or tier-based framer kit. You'll unlock the elements portrait elements exclusive as well as okay. Maybe it's still here. Maybe it's in here. The rewards for Season 6 must be... Oh, you know what? Maybe these are the... I don't know. A top ranking will receive vouchers via the Moogle delivery service. Players finishing in bronze can speak with the quartermaster. Commendation Crystals, a new ranking and tier reward. Yeah, I should have scrolled down first. Commendation Crystals can be exchanged by speaking with the Commendation Quartermaster and the Wolf's Den Pier. By trading in Hellhound weapons with Commendation Crystals, players can obtain augmented Hellhound weapons. Oh, it's a Season 8 edition. That's why it's not listed on that page. Yeah, okay, but that's still not good enough. It's something, but it's not good enough. So maybe there's something else. An icon will now display if you haven't claimed your seasonal rewards. The music for Crystalline Conflict matches has been reverted to the version used prior to 6.38. And the following options for custom matches will now be toggled on by default: arena events and kits. Okay. Still not enough, but, you know, at least it's something with the weapons, I suppose. Following additions and adjustments have been made to modifiers for damage dealt, damage taken, and limit gauge buildup for front lines. Warrior and Dark Knight modifier for damage has been changed from 0% to minus 10%. Okay. Scholar modifier for damage has been changed from minus 10% to 0%. Tank and melee DPS mod. Okay, so they're just bringing everything down by 10%, except for Fizz range that only got brought down by 5% specifically. I like how Scholar is specifically this one, and then they have Healer modifier as something different here, excluding Dancer and Red Mage, who have their own for this. I feel like there's a better way to word all of this, because this is a lot of just word salad right here that makes, like, it makes sense, but just the way it's presented is not, just not the greatest. But yeah, everyone's like gaining 10%. Yeah, and that's the other thing. The Scholar modifier for damage dealt has been changed. Yeah, because it's damage dealt, not damage taken. So this is a buff. This is a nerf. This is a buff. This is a buff. And this is a nerf. Yeah, I feel like there's a better way to put all of this together so that that's easier to to understand or to do. It's either that or it's literally the complete opposite of everything I just said. But either way, I don't really like the way any of this is presented or anything. Modifier. Oh, this is damage taken. This is damage taken. This is damage dealt. Dealt, taken. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so reverse everything I just said for these three, because that's it. Yeah, that's again a whole bunch of word salad right there. Amount of time required to fill the limit gauge for Dragoon Samurai, Dancer, and White Mage has been increased by 15 seconds. Much more clear. Amount of time required to fill the limit gauge for Bard has been decreased by 15 seconds. Much better. Duration of stun, heavy, bind, silence, deep freeze status have been reduced by 25%. Okay, CC is pretty strong in CC and front. Although this is in Frontline specifically. So the limp status will no longer be applied to. I forgot it was called limp. Who are attacked while riding a mount. If a player is attacked while mounted, they will now forcibly dismount and gain the hoofing it status for 5 seconds. I prefer that, because essentially every time you get limp, you end up just, the default play is just to get off your mount anyway, so it might as well just take you off the mount and get rid of limp instead, and then just have the you can't remount for 5 seconds thing. The invulnerability status given at each Grand Company space will now prevent all status and knockback effects. I can imagine why they're doing that. Designated quantity of data required to win a campaign in Seas has been reduced, so they're just reducing the length of that. Following adjustments have been made to Shatter, increased from 1,600 to 2,000 for the data required. Yeah, the tomelets have been removed. The icebound tomelets, the rate at which they spawn will be adjusted. Icebound tomelets that have been destroyed will now regenerate after a fixed amount of time. Amount of data stored in large and small icebound tomelets has been adjusted. Max HP of large and small icebound tomelets has been adjusted. Various adjustments have been made to the terrain and placement of the icebound tomelets. We did see the new map in the live letter. Reducing the time it takes to do Onsal Hakar, because it's only 1,400 now instead of 1,600. In order to rework the duty in light of Frontline PvP achievements, this will adjustments. Secure will be temporarily unavailable. So it's gone. This is what you mean to say. In 7.0, if they come back out with all the temporarily unavailable things, then, you know, I'll shut up, but I'll just assume it's gone forever at this point. Grand Company affiliation and bases have been added to the display more prominently on the UI. The one you're a part of in particular. So yeah, if you're a part of it, it's bigger. It has a star and a hexagon. So yeah, there's always that. Sorry, like I said, only one sip of coffee so far. There we go. There's my refuel for the rest of the video. Battle High gauge has been adjusted to be more prominent. Good. Score info is the new HUD element. We saw that during the live letter. Good. The winning team name will now be displayed in Japanese when the in-game language is set to Japanese, and Frontline's daily challenge Frontlines will now give PvP Series EXP. Yeah, that once-a-day bonus. Nice. We've seen these already. This is the raid set right here. And then we have grand prize winners for the weapon design contest, which are part of the Tomestone sets that we have here, which I think look most... Oh, I actually like the... Wait, is this a... This is... I guess for me, I immediately saw the inside of the book and went, "Oh, it's like a paint. It's like a paint thing. It's a palette." Okay, that's actually pretty neat. I like the left side. The right side's a little plain, but that's fine, I suppose. And we saw all this during the live letter, so none of this is really new, but it is nice to see it again. Team Lala here. They were like, maybe we should stop putting Lalas next to tall people and we just put them all next to each other. Yeah, dude, I'm in love with these ninja daggers, man. Big fan of those. And the gun looks a lot better here than it did during the live letter. And also the dancer weapon does as well, because this looks so weird when they showed it to us and just like a sheet held up at a screen. This too. This was also on a like white background, so like I couldn't even tell where the gun started and the gun ended. So either way, yeah, those weapons look better than they did during the live letter, in my opinion. I still don't know what's going on with this red mage sword. The black mage weapon I actually like now seeing it worn, and Scholar Book is fine. Again, it looks a little better here than it did in the little preview, but I don't know what's going on with this red mage weapon too. I'm not a big fan. This is the crafting stuff. So by the way, when I go through the leveling dungeons, I almost never remember what the weapons look like. So I didn't know these were Tysis weapons or Katisis weapons. Basically just dyeable versions of them for the crafted stuff. But as for the gear, I mean, the gear is all... I saw... I saw a comment in my Discord that said, what in the Nomura is this? And you know what? Yeah, but we saw this again during the live letter, and I do like that they're kind of going with something that might have a little bit more, I guess, casual glam use than most of our crafted sets end up having. So I'm okay with that. Adjustments have been made to the graphics of the following equipment. Also, because we're going to be wearing mostly crafted gear when we do Savage, it's basically, this is, if you watch anime or like play like anime game, this is literally the ideal god-killing garb, as far as I've been made to aware, as far as I've been made aware of. So, you know, it's, I don't know. I think this matches with most of the things that I've seen. Adjustments have been made to the graphics of the following equipment: the rose ribboned gloves, the forget-me-not ribbon gloves, and the acacia ribboned gloves. Okay. All the Valentine stuff can now be glammed regardless of gender. Following additions and adjustments have been made to the glamour system. Items stored in the glamour dresser normal one can now be selected from the drop-down menu for cast glamour. Yes, they told us that in the live letter as well. Equipment held by the retainers will also be in the cast glamour menu. Excellent. Radiance gear can now be purchased in exchange for sacks of nuts. That was an expected change for this. Achievement certificates. New items for achievement certificates. Interesting. Anytime we actually get something new for achievement certificates, I get a little excited, because it's one of the most like underutilized systems that they have in Final Fantasy XIV, and something I feel like they could do a lot more with. But maybe it'll be something cool. Maybe it'll be one of the things they showed us. And then, you know, new like items from previous patches, from the last couple patches, a lot of them can be desynthesized, sold, or, you know, handed in for expert deliveries. And number of island prisms yielded has been from crafting has been increased from 1 to 3. New conditions have been added for expert recipes. These conditions may appear when using expert recipes newly added in 6.4. Good Omen guarantees good material condition for the next step. Okay, sounds like they're just making it a little easier by adding another potential good thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just analyzing that looks like what they're doing. To me, as a non-crafter. Maybe it's awful. Who knows? If they're synthesizing an item in the crafting log, the list of recipes will automatically adjust upon redisplays of items before and after the crafted item are visible. Yeah, it's so annoying the way that it like reorients it after you've crafted an item. I'd kind of forgotten about that. New miner and botanist gathering points added. New items added to gathering. Gathering attempts and integrity bonuses have been added to certain legendary nodes. This is all usual stuff. Aquarium breeding has been added to the filter settings in the fish guide. Okay. New fishing holes have been added. Following additions have been... Listen, I know we're getting the new stuff. No more point achievements. Okay? No more point achievements. As long as I log into the game on Tuesday and there are no new achievements that involve getting more total points, we are okay. Square, we are okay. A new route has been added. Okay, new bonuses, new voyage missions. Players may now select between 2 different routes when embarking on a voyage. Oh, I like that. The Indigo route and the Ruby route. Oh, I sort of like it and I sort of don't. I like it on... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, don't tell me they're going to do a total point achievement for the Indigo route and a total point achievement for the Ruby. No. No. Don't do it. Just make it total across all routes, please. Don't do it. Okay, so my fear with this is that they're going to split the number of people queuing, which may mean more frequent 15-minute waits before the boat actually takes off. So registration cutoff times may be viewed by checking the sailing schedule. Okay, yeah. I guess I did have that concern. Unless, wait, they don't show us the Ruby route. What if the Indigo route is every odd numbered hour and the Ruby route is every even numbered hour? That, on the other hand, would be good. So if they do that, this is fine. It also would mean that if you wanted to ocean fish literally every hour, you could double the speed at which you actually get those point achievements, which would make it easier. And at that prospect, I'm now mad. So moving on from that, level cap for desynthesis has now been increased from 620 to 640. Normal stuff, new mounts have been added. New chocobo barding has been added. I like the gold best. The eye, the one eye right here in the front of the chocobo mask. New minions have been added. Oh, hey, what's going on, Ruby Weapon Minion? I like that. That's a little scary, but as long as it doesn't become Nail Mommy, then we're fine. Following adjustments and additions and adjustments have been made to fashion accessories. New accessories have been added. That thing is so extra. Fashion accessories may now be configured separately from mounts on the pet hotbar. To access these settings, open the character configuration menu, select the hotbar settings tab, and scroll down to pet hotbar display settings. Okay, yeah, there's separating that. That's good. Help function has been added to the fashion accessory window. Glasses and wing accessories can now be displayed when engaged in battle in the overworld. We knew that from the live letter as well. Following additions and adjustments have been made to character creation. Okay. Very surprised to see anything being done for character creation. Okay, these adjustments will also apply when editing a character with a Fantasia, summoning the Esthetician when editing a retainer's appearance. The expansion pack required to select certain races will now be displayed if you have yet to register one. Okay. When adjusting character sliders, a marker will now display the slider's previous selected value. Big fan of that. RGB values will now be displayed when selecting certain features, including... So when you say RGB values, you mean the hexadecimal, I'd assume. Okay, well, that's good because that means as someone who's colorblind in a lot of games that do have hexadecimal stuff, I end up Googling the hexadecimal that I want and then just inputting it. But at the very least, I can aim for, I guess, a hex. That's what I'm assuming it is doing. Or at the very least, not a hexadecimal. Sorry, it's going to do the 0 out of like 255 or 250 or whatever it is for RGB. I mean, same idea. It's still the values that actually set it apart, which is, I need stuff like that. So as someone who is colorblind, I do appreciate that. An additional help message will now display. Yeah, I wish it was hexadecimal, though. I'd like to just put in hexadecimals. An additional help message will now display when saving a character appearance data. An additional one, I already don't like the one that pops up now. When selecting a character's date of birth and patron deity, an additional help message will display to inform the players the choices have no effect on gameplay. Good idea. An additional help message will display when attempting to select Congested World as a character's home world. Okay. Following additions and adjustments have been made to achievements. I was hoping for something else here, but, you know, quality of life is always welcome. The following additions and adjustments have been made to achievements, new achievements and titles, certain duties. Yeah, this is, again, normal stuff. They moved all the tank stuff. Certain quests will now be displayed as question mark in the recommendations tab. I'm surprised it took them that long. In order to prevent server congestion, Radzat, Garlemald, and Elpis will all have 3 or multiple instances. Not 3, but multiple, which usually means 3. Sometimes 2, sometimes 3. The option to display prices with the fee... Seriously? That's the number you went with? Have you been on the internet before? That's the of all the numbers that you could have chosen. That's the one you went. At least you went for it on a steel ingot and not like grass or something. The very least it's a little different, but like you could have picked any number in the game and you picked 400 with the tax on top. Okay, just putting that out there. Retainer stuff. Quick exploration ventures, new retainer exploration ventures have been added. The layout of the retainer exploration venture window has been adjusted to include a search feature and a venture history. Big fan of that, like that. Following additions and adjustments have been made to gear sets. Yeah, so now gear sets can now be used from the beginning of the game. They're no longer tied to the armory system, so that level 10 class quest and unlocking other classes. 100 total gear sets, registering a gear set to a hotbar. The set's item level will now display on the tooltip. Very much appreciate that. A guide on using gear sets has been added to the gear set list. All very, very welcome changes. When changing to a newly acquired job, players can now choose whether or not to transfer a hotbar or cross hotbar settings from their associated class. Yeah, this is, you know, it's really weird how annoying it is when you first equip your job and you're like, and everything I've done up till now is ruined. Time to fix it real quick. Yeah, I'm shocked that this has never been a thing, and I'm glad it is a thing now because it is just a genuinely like, what the... as soon as it happens to any new player. So good. Big thumbs up for this one. New stickers have been added to the group. However, big problem before I gotta go back. This is a lot of text and people don't read. So people are going to click cancel and then forget and then complain that they never got the option. So thank you, NA. The new stickers have been added to the group pose feature. The duties can be that. Oh, great! The duties that can be recorded has changed. Good thing we still have Heidelin on there. And, oh wow, I can do Euphrosyne now instead of, and I can still do the 8th circle. Wow, I can't wait to go back to Hephaestus still and do the duty recorder in 6.4. Great. New portrait accents have been, for adventure plates have been added. Following additions and adjustments have been made for portraits. New accents, poses. Portraits will now display at the start of treasure hunts and seasonal event instance dungeons. Interesting. Messages will now display in the portraits menu when no gear sets have been registered. If a character's current gear appearance does not match the last saved gear set they used for a specific portrait, message will be displayed indicating the gear does not match. Okay, none of those are the things that I wanted, but thanks, I guess. I mean, all at this point I want is the top stuff for my adventure plate, so that is what it is, I guess. Following additions and adjustments have been made to player commendations. When the display of portraits is enabled, they will now also display after matches and Crystalline conflict. Player commendations may now be given by selecting a player and either double-clicking on them or pressing the OK button twice. That's good. Position of the setting button. That makes it a lot faster because sometimes people just leave too quick for me to give it to them. The position of the setting button has now been adjusted in the player commendation window. Okay. Following adjustments have been made to display names. We know that they were adding the job or class icon in PvE areas and is available under the display name settings. Following online statuses will not be displayed when class and job icons are enabled. Good, I don't care about any of that stuff. Away from keyboard will override the display of job or class icons. Probably a solid choice. Font color for party members can now be changed according to role. Huge fan of that, except that it's not available for cross-world parties, so never mind. Don't care anymore. The option to display or hide the Traveler title in instance duties has been added. Okay, that's fine. Small and smallest have been added to the display name size. Out of battle option has been added to display name settings. Online statuses and Traveler titles will no longer be displayed during instance battles in which players control NPC. That's funny. I didn't even notice that. Oh man, the Traveler title when you're playing as like, I don't know, it's like Alphino or something. Following additions and adjustments have been made to Party Alliance chat. Access these settings with the character configuration menu. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. For non-cross-roll parties, access these settings. Wait, is this just the whole list? Oh, okay, yeah. It's literally just this chat log name display setting, and it's just telling you to get from here how to get to it. Option to display class job role icons in the chat log has been added. Class job abbreviations in the chat log has been added, and change font color according to role has been added. Yeah, again, not a fan of not working for cross-world parties yet, but maybe they'll get to that in the next patch. They had to start somewhere. Joining a recruiting party, the following categories will now be displayed in the chat log. Wait. Oh, finally, I've been saying this for so long. I have been saying this for years. There's my favorite. It finally says whatever the actual heckin' party finder said. So when somebody is 7 out of 8 and you join the party, you don't need to ask what they heckin' said. Oh, wait, what was the strategy again? I joined the party finder and I just tried to join it real quick. Thank goodness for that. I've been saying this for years. Good. Good. Oh. So, I'm happy about that. I'm Mr. Happy about that. An option to align party list at the bottom of the screen has been added. Oh, interesting. Align to bottom. Oh, okay. I mean, I it's not where I put mine, but I like that they just have the quick option for it. Default positioning and size of alliance list has been adjusted, so their display has been changed to the bottom right of the screen with size. I'm going to have to move those most likely. Adjustment will not affect current displays and only the first completely brand new default HUD. Okay, that's fine. So it's funny, everyone was afraid they were going to get rid of... Oh my god. They looked at top and said, you know what? You're right. Marking yourself with all these chains and things... It's not enough. Let's make sure you can go all the way 1 through 8. Thank you, Top. It's actually like this is kind of long overdue as well. So yeah, that's the thing. Unfortunately, it is also a buff, as my Twitch chat has of course noticed, to some Allagan melons. It is a two-pronged buff in some capacity. But also, yes, and as my chat has also pointed out, very bold to assume that people can count to 8. After a ready check is completed, a sound effect dependent on the result will now play. Okay. Oh, so that means if somebody's not there, it'll play one sound effect. Too bad I have that turned off, so I'll never hear it. An option to store newly obtained items in the last open inventory slot has been added. Items will be placed starting from the bottom. Oh, I see. I'm using this. This is for me. I'm someone who lets stuff go to my inventory and then I deal with the sorting of it later. This is for me. Putting it at the very last slot. Yeah, no, that's definitely for me. The option to enable or disable hotbar replacement has been added. Actually, wait, the option to enable or disable hotbar replacement. Oh, cross hotbar. Oh, okay, yeah, so you can choose whether or not it does. Okay, that makes sense. Unless it's necessary for quest progression, then they'll just be like, we don't care about your settings. Classification of companions and click filter settings has been changed from NPCs, objects to pets, minions. Oh, they're separate. Okay, I appreciate them separating that finally, because it's kind of annoying that they don't. The layout of the requested repair window has been adjusted. The additional icons have been added for user macros. Wow, I feel like it's been ages since we saw new icons for macros. I like it. PlayStation Plus members may now register 1 additional Aetheryte to a free destination. Cheaters. PlayStation gets 1 more free Ether. I don't care. I haven't paid for teleporting in I don't know how long. So, but that's fine. Following additions and adjustments have been made to the friends list. A PS icon will be displayed if a player and their friend are logging in from a PlayStation console. Okay, that's fine if in that particular case, but okay. And you can actually look at PSN profiles via a subcommand if that condition is met. Oh, that's actually pretty neat. Wow, not only it's like Xbox is not only not getting it, but they're like doubling down on PS5 features. Members of the same party who are also playing on console will now appear as players met screen. Oh, and then it'll show, okay, PlayStation Network. Yeah, it's literally just intertwining everything with PSN. So, yeah, it's just functional. That's all. It's just acting like the game is actually being played on PlayStation when it's being played on PlayStation. So, let's see. Following options have been added to character configuration. Oh, these are all the stuff that is above. This is just like a generalization of it. Hand to heart, that's the emote from earlier. So we saw that. The subcommands for AO, Celine, Attack 6, 7, and 8 are all here. Additions have been made to the auto translation dictionary. This is all the usual stuff. Additional help message will now display when the player chooses to visit another data center. A sound effect and gamepad vibration will now be used to indicate when they have successfully moved. Autocomplete dictionary, new trophies. Following additions and adjustments have been made to the Mac version. Oh man, utilizing the Silicon chipset M1 and M2 have been added as supported models. Oh man, that's exciting. And new music, sound effects, and voices have been added. All right. Well, that is the preliminary patch notes. We did have a couple of surprises in there, man, especially towards the end. We got hit with a few quality of life things that I was, I guess, not ill prepared for, but like, I guess I've been asking for them for so long that it shocked me to see them. But the PF one, that's definitely big. Like, I've been asking for that for ages. Oh man, I can't believe it's finally happening. Well, with that though, yeah, that's the preliminary patch notes for patch 6.4. We'll get job changes on Monday. And so I'll do another video on Monday once those are available, whenever. I wonder if they probably announced maintenance at this point, because they didn't announce it prior to today or when it would actually be on Tuesday. They just said that it wouldn't be 24 hours. So I expect it's just kind of a short one. So with that, though, thank you for watching my overview and thoughts on the preliminary patch notes. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share. And stay tuned for all things patch 6.4 on the channel. With that, I will see all of you later. All of you on YouTube later. Twitch, we're hanging out. We're still doing stuff today, so don't go anywhere. So yeah, on YouTube, I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, bye-bye.